Every time you go out to eat, you're putting your trust in the food handlers that made your meal.
And in some ways, the inspectors who regulate those folks. Newswatch 12's Justin Bork reports on the layers of food codes and inspections that are behind every bite you take and why these regulations are among the most relaxed in the country.
Well, a very small concentration of virus in a food supply can affect a lot of people. And because of that, health inspectors say restaurants are the most important inspections they do. But like many things, the food code that guides those inspections is far from perfect. From restaurants to food trucks to hotel breakfasts, there isn't a single meal served in a public place that escapes the purview of county health inspectors.
When we talk about the mission of environmental health, it's preventing foodborne illness, preventing waterborne illness, and ultimately protecting public health and safety.
Restaurant inspections are the biggest part of what Jackson County Environmental Health does. A tiny amount of viral particles spread from fecal matter into a food supply can infect a whole community before you even know it's there.
People can pass it to others before they even know they're ill, and that's one of the basic principles of public health.
In order to prevent outbreak, inspectors look at the county's 665 licensed restaurants twice a year. Those inspections focus on the most basic systems: food temperatures, storage, and sanitation.
The obvious one would be right out of the gate, hand washing.
But those inspections are only as good as the code they follow. And that code has changed significantly in the past few years based on the statewide adoption of new and much more lenient FDA standards.
They're no longer deducting points for very low-risk elements within the restaurant. We're taking our focus and putting it on intermediate and high-level risk areas.
The new standards, adopted by the Oregon Health Authority in 2012, have been praised by both health inspectors and restaurant associations. As opposed to previous rules, restaurants that are in general disrepair but have good food handling principles can achieve perfect scores. But there's one thing the OHA overlooked.
There was going to be a barrier of some sort required, be it a utensil, gloves.
While adopting these standards, Oregon passed on an FDA recommendation that over 40 other states chose to follow, making us one of the only places in the country where food handlers don't have to wear gloves. That decision blindsided public health agencies and food handlers, and according to the Restaurant Association, may have been influenced by a select few in the metro area.
You have so many independent restaurateurs, for lack of a better term, kind of local celebrity chefs, and they're the ones that are kind of in the back of the house that are really trying to instill those beliefs.
Those beliefs, which the Oregon Restaurant Association supports, are that employees wearing gloves will be more likely to stick their hands in multiple food items without washing, a risk health inspectors and many local restaurants say isn't supported by science.
Some of the independents here in Jackson County, they also were stepping up in anticipation that that was going to become a rule.
But despite that, foodborne outbreaks have remained relatively rare. Last year, Jackson County had one.
In most cases, these operators, they are looking to provide a safe product to the public.
And gloves or no gloves, inspectors say the fact that a restaurant remains open is a vote of confidence that consumers can feel safe.
I live here and have a family, and I frequent the local establishments all the time.
Now, restaurant scores are not required to be posted, but Jackson County Environmental Health does list theirs on their website. We have a link to this. Just go to kdrv.com and click on this story. And be sure to tune into Newswatch 12 throughout the month for much more on public safety in the county. Live in the newsroom, Justin Bork, Newswatch 12.